What's up, YouTube? We're back with another more creative and original list today. Now, Viego has had a bit of a resurgence at the recent seasonal tournament, and this was one of the decks that I played against, and I actually didn't respect it a lot first, and then I got clapped by it, and I knew I had to showcase it at some point. This is my very own take of it, though. I did change quite a few cards to the original version, and this is what I ended up on. Now, the core idea is combining the Viego package with Bilgewater and Twisted Fate to have a lot of good early game and a lot of mid-range board control. As opposed to, for example, Viego Ionia, this does not go too heavy on protecting the champions and the carries. Actually, it doesn't really do that at all. The idea here is that the meta is very tempo-oriented and really not that high on hard removal. And therefore, once you stabilize in the early or mid game and then find one or two of the top end cards in Viego or Hydrovine, those should usually be enough to swing the tides of the game. And while this deck is mainly tailored to be good into aggro decks and mid-rangey Demacia type of decks, mid-range board-driven decks, this can definitely also go under a lot of control decks. That means it can outrace a lot of control decks because we do play a very low curve. We play a lot of 1-drops, 2-drops, 3-drops. We curve very nicely, everything's cheap, and we can very effectively remove our opponent's chump blockers with cards like Make It Rain, Twisted Fate Red card, or Withering Way. So I'll just go through the units first and through all of the tech choices. Jagged Butcher, just a very solid, well-statted 1-drop. Deckhand is one of the cuter ideas in this deck. So originally I wanted to go way deeper on the idea of playing Viego with Powder Kegs, because Powder Kegs are a very effective way of triggering Viego's passive. Each round, the first time an ally dies, summon an Encroaching Mist, and of course a keg does count as an ally that dies, so you can very well time it yourself when you want to use that. At first I did try to build this with more petty officers and line 'em ups and so on. Maybe one line 'em up is good enough in this list. Personally, I felt like it wasn't worth it to go all in on that keg plus Viego idea though, but when it does pop off, it does feel really good. Now personally, I like some amount of Fading Icon, 1 or 2. Fortune Croaker, very good in this list, very well statted while also drawing you a card, and draw is very important in this deck. Chemovoran Soldier is a staple in almost any Viego deck. Spirit Leech I really like in this one. We do have a lot of tokens that we can sacrifice, and it's also very synergistic with both Viego and Twisted Fate. Then of course I already touched up on Twisted Fate. Most of the time you want a red card, but also we play a lot of draw in this list. You can realistically flip Twisted Fate in this deck even without playing protective spells for him. Zap Sprayfin, super versatile, super efficient, also a great way of triggering Plunder for cards like Monster Harpoon or Jagged Butcher. And of course the staples, we have Viego and Invasive Hydrovine as the mist-themed top-end carries. Now for removal spells, that's also kind of the bread and butter in this deck. Glimpse Beyond, first of all, as a utility tool. It synergizes super well with suiciding a unit for Viego and spawning an Encroaching Mist, but also, of course, helping Twisted Fate get his level up condition and at least forcing removal out of your opponent. Then Make It Rain and Vile Feast both synergize very well with the kegs from the Dreadway deckhand, and of course are a great tool for early board control. The same can be said for the box. It hits a lot of matchups right now, mainly discard Scion and Poppy decks. And then I also like a 1 of Withering Whale. Could also be a 2 of, it could be Withering Mist. Again, same idea, synergizes a lot with kegs, and it heals a bit. It's a great anti-aggro tool. Monster Harpoon is where this deck shines a bit. Usually Viego decks can lack hard removal a bit, and if you play stuff like Vengeances, it's usually overpriced. But in this deck we have a lot of ways of triggering Plunders, so I really like running 2 or 3 Monster Harpoons in this. This will usually take care of almost any threat on your opponent's side, especially in those tempo-based matchups. And I really, like running 2 or 3 copies of this. Plunder is very easy to trigger here. And personally, I like one Atrocity as a finisher or as a Louvre Traveler's bait. Not 100% sure about this yet, if it's really necessary, but so far it did feel good. Especially if you do happen to run into combo or control decks, it can be quite important to be able to close out that game 1 turn earlier. Now we have lots of interesting tech choices. I already touched up on more keg cards. Then of course we have a lot of Shadow Isles removal, which can make sense. Maybe stuff like Despair. The 3rd Harpoon and so on. Early units like Hapless Aristocrat. Then the version that I lost against in the seasonal tournament also played Tenor of Terror. making this a bit more of a mid-rangey list, but also, of course, just two very effective blockers. So feel free to experiment around with this. Like I said, if you run into a lot of aggro and board-based tempo decks, this is actually going to be a good choice. But, of course, if you do happen to run into too much Lee Sin or Mini Morpher Control, Aloof Travelers decks, probably not the best choice you can go for. As always, I have some interesting gameplay examples for you guys. Enjoy.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Is this Ezreal Karma and weird skins? Oh, this is gonna be a scuffed matchup. Oh, do S Karmas play Aloof these days? They probably do, right? Maybe I should have kept the Atro. I mean, caping to Viegos is the same thing, though. In a way. Soldier blue card? Red card, actually, right? Or Croaker Soldier. I think we want TF on the board early. Okay, now that I have Make It Rain, I definitely don't need to red card. Do I open attack though?
Deal me in.
What an overreaction to it, yeah. Okay, this time we're finding all of the draw at least.
I fight with my spirit, not my
Ooh, no box mana. Setting up, what is it called? Static Shock, I suppose.
shadow.
Well, pretty straightforward, just Viego into Viego. No way this one lives. Let's hope the second one lives. The idea behind this deck, just having a strong control shell for Viego that is very, very strong against aggro, very consistent against aggro, and like good for board control as well. It's much faster than the Ionia version. They can't have another Thermo Beam, right? It's impossible. Why Viego Kegs? Kegs are very easy to kill. Kegs are very easy to kill, and it spawns a Wraith thing. A mist thing, whatever it's called.
By force of will. I thought you'd never ask.
Just box the guy.
Sir.
2 months in towards Braum cosplay.
Dapper Ranch is committed. Thank you so much for the prime. Appreciate it. Baby steps towards that Braum cosplay. Only, what, 792 subscribers left. Azura's Mystic Shot. Normal Mystic Shot, okay. So one Karma, one Ezreal down, and the opponent's hand size is starting to get low.
How did we get here, Kappa?
Ram Fortune. Is that a what's it called? Are you referring to Rick and Morty here? How did he get here? How did he get there? Thank you so much for the 4 mines. Thank you for the prime. Never watched Rick and Morty? Oof. You're missing out. This prevents Twin Discipline block on Hydra Vine. The Vine is probably getting palmed or willed here. Rick and Morty first season is goated, yeah. The second season could be considered goated as well, I think. I haven't watched the newest episodes though. The 5th.
I'm so good, I surprised myself.
Red card into Harpoon.
Miss me.
Then I can't clear out the Karma. That's an issue. It's a red card for sure though.
Never lost a fair game or played one.
Only question is if I let Ezreal live or not. Okay. That answers that. I'm a bit surprised here. What did my opponent try to find?
I'm a people person.
Like, he didn't have to play the deep med yet.
One shot, all skill.
Feels like it would have been better to wait a bit. Is this a bearded crustacean stream? Yes. This is always a bearded crustacean stream. How are you doing, Mineral Arts? It's been a while. Time trick? I don't mind time trick here.
No way.
For silver I talk, for gold I lease it.
So the only thing I'm worried about right now is Karma into deep med. Or Karma into static shock is somewhat worrying. And I suppose Karma into time trick. There's actually quite a bit.
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
Isn't it a bit whack? Pick a card doesn't give card advantage? Technically, yes. Technically, that's true. But it does say pick a card and not like draw a card. GG.
Outplayed.
Avatar broken? I don't know about broken, but it's a cool card for sure. Riven Vi. This should be a very rough matchup. Isn't Viego better with Ionia? Maybe. Probably. But the Viego Keg synergy is kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie.
Sun rock got me good.
I am superior life form. Can you improve perfection?
Only one can generate a card. That is true. We don't need to go all in on it. I'm thinking about adding Line Him Up though.
Fire till nothing moves. Safety disengaged. Prime and ready.
So this box would only be 3 mana right now. But 3 mana to protect the 3/3 doesn't seem worth it. One mana to kill this on the other hand. Oh yeah, also not worth it.
System upgrade. A ticket to the gun show. Can you improve perfection?
The whole world will know my anguish.
Yeah, Line Him Up is probably actually good with Viego, because if you have 3 spell mana banked and you play Line Him Up, you get the mist on turn 5 already.
System upgrade.
I'm innocent. Anything helps.
Flesh was weak, but look at me now. Safety.
Discarded the wrong Lost Soul as well.
Can you improve perfection? Join me if you want to live.
If I kill you, I don't fortune.
This turn is very rough to play without having any idea what our opponent is planning to do. Can't deal with her.
Get back here.
System upgrade.
Okay. At least we're getting an okay open attack.
You ain't starting without me.
Think opponent just wants to ballistic, but your nexus to 0. The Vi was quite the sacrificial lamb there. Oh, nice. Getting that bot. I think we can play Vine here, just because we know we have a glimpse target next turn in the mist.
gameplay. Trouble coming at ya.
I mean, if they sack the Vi, I'm not sure if I'm even... Okay. Well, that sucks. Prevent the level up, I suppose. Could also, like, let Vi go down to... Well, no, I can't really remove her then. Nice! What a find.
Submission or death for all who live.
And next turn, maybe we'll see that Kag Viego combo that all of you guys have been so horny about.
I'm cold, I'm hungry.
Yeah, 6 mana Harpoon would have been worth it if we didn't see the skills. I'm very good at also finding glimpse right now, right? 2 Viafees, 2 glimpses. Because I still need to get a bit more stats on the board. So if the Keg dies, I'd have 2/7 attack miss, then I'd be 1 off. Maybe Zap gets Mystic Shot or something. Ooh, wait, with the Viafees though, no matter if I pull Viafees or Glimpse, I get the last point of...
Be nothing left when I'm done.
the last point before the level up, right? Because I make it right now, the Keg dies, I have 2/7 attack miss. That puts him to 19, then I Viafees my spider.
Words of power linger in the air.
Le combo. Of course, Glimpse would have still been a much better draw just because I also draw. It's starting to run low on cards, but I don't think we care too much anymore at this point.
A single empire.
Uh-oh.
True king.
Do we full swing? I don't know about the 2/2. The rest can swing for sure.
Approach, savage.
Okay, just giving me the level up.
Your fate was written. Tell it to the fists.
I don't know, maybe these shouldn't have swung. Kinda sacked the 2/2 for no reason. Double Mystic Shot would suck. But usually that deck only runs Get Excited.
Try again.
The Shadow Isles are just the beginning.
Alright, so we're getting rid of Vi. We have a box for whatever may come next. It's already the second Vi. Opponent's probably got Ambush in hand by now, the way they've been focused on killing my elusive. They should still be somewhat scared, but I do have Box and Harpoon.
Headed in.
That's trolling, right? I'm pretty sure that's trolling.
Justice is served.
Knowing my opponent can either challenge next turn or they also play 2 more Get Excited. Okay. If I knew I would draw a Hydra Vine, then I could have done it the other way. I need to keep mana open for both, that's for sure. Is there anything I need to be afraid of? Ruined Reckoner ambush? Not anymore. Double get excited, technically. You shall be mine. Now we can pull the only fearsome blocker aside. Bada bing, bada boom. Again, misposition technically, but I think we got the win. I think we got it. GG.
I will take back what is mine. All of it.